6th day of 2023. There are 279 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose, live online at K105.com, via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Okay.
You like a good murder mystery.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You liked Knives Out recently. Do you have a favorite detective in the entertainment genre, either literary, television, movie?
Oh, that's really hard. Old school Murder, She Wrote. So Angela Lansbury.
Jessica Fletcher is rated the number one detective by the best movie and TV detective of all time.
Okay.
Columbo was second, Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson next, Philip Marlowe, and then Mulder and Scully from the X-Files round out the top five. So you came up with the one that most other people did, Jessica Fletcher and the late, great Angela Lansbury, Murder, She Wrote. He is the five-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the two-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph. Where was Scooby-Doo on that list?
Just outside the top five, probably a number 6.
Rob.
Sam, you're looking a little older today.
Am I?
Got a few more wrinkles than on Friday.
Gray hair?
When I saw you. I don't see any gray hair yet, but
it's coming.
Your crow's feet are creeping in. I did see a picture of you from really not too many years ago on Saturday. And if you think you look like a baby now.
Oh, yeah. No, I know the picture you're talking about, because there was a comment made to me that we need to update the... I mean, they had to go deep into the archives to make something.
So you were ahead of schedule at Western. Fair enough to say.
Yeah, I mean, I graduated in 3 years, I guess, instead of 4. So but that's not.
And you didn't do the thing where you take a gap year. You know, you just went on a natural schedule. But you have a very youthful look to you.
Yes.
Prior to glasses every day.
Yes.
As well, so it made you look even
younger.
Look even younger. So you turned what age on Saturday?
26.
26. All right.
Wow.
So rolled beyond the quarter of a century mark. How did you celebrate? You got to have one of these, by the way.
Watch the Elite Eight, I guess.
You did. Did you blow out any birthday candles?
No. No, I mean, it was kind of what I wanted. I just kind of wanted to take it easy and just watch the games all weekend, because there were some decent games.
There were some good games.
Yeah. I mean, none that were. I mean, the FAU game was pretty good, but other than that, the rest weren't as quite as exciting.
Did any roosters sing you happy birthday?
No, the wind blew them away.
The wind blew away. I just thought maybe there might be a trio of roosters that.
No. When the wind came, they I don't know what happened.
Really, they got relocated. They got moved to another farm. That's all right. Well, happy birthday, happy belated birthday to you. That was on Saturday, and was there something sweet or some treat across the hallway waiting for you this morning?
Yes, there was. There's a cinnamon roll waiting for me, I think, for dessert tonight.
Going to have that after the show sometime today, between now and midnight. The weather-wise, things are looking nice this morning. It felt like a late spring morning, and the temperature isn't really going to get that much higher today, but it's going to be a pretty nice day. We'll see partly sunny skies. There's a greater chance of rain off to the north of us. So you're hearing our partners at Wave, they're talking about scattered rain showers. And that's more not specifically in the 42754, but 61 today, partly cloudy, 39 tonight, mostly cloudy, 53 for tomorrow. 60 on Wednesday, 68 on Thursday. Seems to be the pick of the week. 68 under sunny skies. It's going to be a rainy Friday again with a high of 71. But if you get into next week, spring break week, it does look like there will be highs in the 70s each day. So in a couple of weeks, Sunday is Palm Sunday, and then Easter is 2 weeks from yesterday.
Thursday, though, you're mentioning, that's opening day for MLB. I mean, you can't. I don't know that you can ask for much better than that.
Yeah, I don't know, some areas, whether it's the Northeast or what have you, sometimes April 1st or March the 31st, it's still cold and they have
snowed
some
on
snow.
Opening day in Cincinnati, which obviously opening day in Cincinnati means more than any other town.
That's you all
because we are
tend to
actually
take it more seriously.
We're actually in the race on that day.
Yeah, it's the last day of this
of hope,
the competitive season. Speaking of weather, you've got a lot of people in Mississippi who are trying to recover and uncover from a weekend bout of weather devastation and tornadoes, and it impacted some of the poorest sections of Mississippi, some of the sections that could sustain it the least. So there was a path of deadly destruction that a tornado ripped through. At least 25 people were killed and dozens other injured in Mississippi over the weekend. So obviously prayers for them. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell said Saturday he has been released from the rehab facility where he had physical therapy for a concussion caused by a fall earlier this month. It's weird. In the mail over the weekend, was delivered to me a photograph of he and I from just days before he tripped and fell on March 8th. And I think we had just met with him. It's technically March 1st, I believe that it was. And so it was just weird in that, like, pretty much the whole time in the interim that it took for that photograph to arrive, he had been in the hospital or in a rehab facility. Tripped on March 8th at a hotel reception for a campaign committee and suffered. Then they found out a day or so later he had a fractured rib as well. So he will work from home for a few days.
That doesn't feel good.
And then get back to the Senate floor. Some news developments over the weekend here locally. Grayson County High School Lady Cougar basketball program is looking for a new head coach. Todd Johnston has stepped down as the leader of the Lady Cougars. In the 2 seasons, his team went 14-39, a big 8-win improvement from the first to the second year. He is technically retired. Obviously, I think he's still involved with St. Paul Catholic School, as far as we know. But he was doing that. He'd been on the show representing them, and then he had been involved in the Lady Cougar basketball program. He loves coaching. That's his second stint as a head coach at Grayson County High School. But I think Sam, there's a quote at K105.com. He said he just wasn't sure that he had the energy. Is that what he told you?
I think that was his line that he gave me last night, and I respect it. I mean, he was great to work with from our end, and I think, you look at 14-39, and if you're just reading that article and you've not followed the Lady Cougars, you might think, ooh, that's not necessarily the greatest record. But if you watch that team, from the first game that he coached back on November the 30th of whatever year, 2021, to the last game that they played in those last couple of games, the improvement is obvious. They got so much better over those 2 seasons, and it should be an attractive job for whomever might be interested in it, because they return, I think, 78% of their scoring next season, and they got a lot of really, really good young players, which should be attractive.
The thing that really helped the program over the last couple of years is that when you are at the point in life where Todd is, retired, doing it because you want to, not because you have to, or you're just trying to, get your professional days in and get through it. He just had a wisdom to it and a perspective that probably was helpful to all parties involved. And so just having him around for a couple of years to being a good influence on the program and kind of setting it up for whatever the future holds was a good thing. So it will be paying dividends for a while. Todd has grandchildren, of course, and I don't blame him a bit for wanting to spend more time. And
Well, I know, like he had told me that it took him a few minutes to get back to me with a quote, and he said, "Sorry, I was hanging out with Jack, who's his oldest grandson." And I said, "Well, yeah, that explains it."
that was pretty much that was the
Yeah,
statement,
yeah.
I believe. 2 felons have been charged with drug trafficking after police discovered over 4 ounces of methamphetamine during a traffic stop in Big Clifty. We told you a little bit about this incident last week and one arrest, but there were apparently some subsequent arrests involving a 35-year-old Matthew Graham of Mammoth Cave, and the vehicle ran a stop sign at Main Street and Hardin Springs Road in Big Clifty. So they also got a 63-year-old James Odom of Big Clifty. He was in the backseat of this vehicle, and we had previously told you about the arrest of a 43-year-old Kim Gaither of Clarkson. So you can see that story at K105.com should you be so inclined. Governor Beshear on Friday, I believe it was Friday, he issued an election year veto of a sweeping bill aimed at regulating the lives of transgender youths that include banning access to gender-affirming health care and restricting the bathrooms they can use. The bill also bans discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity in schools and allows teachers to refuse to refer to transgender students by the pronouns they use. It easily passed the GOP-dominated legislature with veto-proof margins, and lawmakers will reconvene this week for the final 2 days of this year's session when they could vote to override that veto, which is likely they will do. But you're hearing a group called the Fairness Campaign, which has launched a messaging campaign across the state using one former and, well, at least a couple of former Republican legislators to kind of try to appeal to their own brethren and get them to be in opposition of Senate Bill 150. But we'll find out later in the week what they decide to do. He being the governor, did also sign the school discipline bill that was on his desk. He signed that on Friday, I believe. So anyway,
we get maybe sports wagering too on the desk on the 29th, which is Wednesday.
It's going to be a real bang bang type of week in Frankfort because they only have 2 days left, and so they won't pass anything that they think is going to get vetoed because they don't have the ability to override it. So if it gets parked, it's because they probably thought,
I guess theoretically the only way they could override it would be if they called a special session, but the only person that can call a special session is the governor, and it's probably unlikely that he'd call a special session to have them override.
Yep, which is another example of if you recall back to last year, that was a constitutional amendment. The Kentuckians were asked, do you want the legislature to be able to call themselves into special session? Kentuckians said no. So they left that up to the ability of the governor to call that special session. It was an exciting weekend in NCAA tournament basketball, both men and women. The lady card season at U of L came to an end last night. Iowa looked very good.
Caitlin Clark is I didn't watch the game, but I've seen her play before. She's incredible.
I watched a few minutes of it. You can vouch for me, honey, can't you?
Yeah.
I was watching U of L women's basketball.
Were you wearing black and gold while doing so?
I was not. I was not. I was wearing.
I know where you're headed next, and I still can't believe it's actually true.
I was wearing blue.
You
said any other year, you losing your team, your champion on day one, and you're toast, and somehow you pull it out.
I can't believe it. One, I never win the office pool.
Yeah, I went back and looked. I didn't realize the history was on there yet. I think you did back in like 2013.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
it's
once in a decade.
I've
get
never
one.
won, right?
No, I don't believe that you
so.
have.
No.
So yes, I
everything that you literally had to have everything go right for you, and it did.
That's it. I said though, you can't win the tournament. You can't win the contest on day one, but you can lose it. I was wrong. You can win it on day one as well, because that's what I was riding on the entire time, were my picks early on, and I am going to win. I have won 53 points, and no one else in the contest, including self, has a bracket still alive. That's why it's over. Like no one in the entire organization picked any of the Final Four teams, but my guess is that's not uncommon.
Well, I know that I think it was 0.7% of the brackets had FAU as.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm kind of embarrassed because I think 2 of the 4 Final Four teams I had losing in the first round. Because I had FAU losing, and but that's my team right now. I'm all in on the Owls.
Honey, you finished 8th.
That's the very last, isn't it?
It's open to interpretation.
I don't see any below that listed,
Okay.
but it may be
All
because
right.
I have to go to the next page. But you're of this group that I see. I see you.
Yeah, I'm fine.
'Cause
with
Whitney
that.
got second,
at the
right?
end. Whitney finished second with 48 points. Chase had 44. UConn had 43. Sam, you also tied. You and UConn tied for 4th at 43. So, but it is like you will never. I don't think we'll ever again see a year like this. It's just one of those freak things that you're exactly right, Sam. Everything.
Because-
I thought when Gonzaga got beat, I thought, well, this is going to work out really well. Then Texas got beat, and then the entire thing was over.
Well, I knew that the last time that the Final Four was this like crazy was 2011, I think, when Kentucky made it and played UConn and everything like that. Was the last time it was this crazy, and I was thinking, well, I'm sure somebody in the bracket pool that year would have picked Kentucky, so that would have at least thrown that part out, just because
Yeah.
that's how it went. Even though that didn't happen this year, but.
I just thought I was pretty impressed. You know, no one took their heart, like no one took their fandom. They just sort of said, nah, they're not going to be in it. And so it made for interesting choice of, it forced everyone to choose someone other than Kentucky. But anyway, it was fun, but so I won't win again for, well, I guess it'll be 2033 is when I will. If it was 2013, 2023, then 2033. I'm looking forward to it. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way here on In the Know.
For more than 70 years, Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center has cared for the health of our friends, neighbors, and family members in Grayson County and beyond. We've celebrated every beautiful newborn, every successful surgery, and every healed injury. Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center is focused on finding solutions to your health challenges. As part of the Owensboro Health System, we want to keep you healthy. We want to make you proud.
If you're the average person, you only think about income taxes from January to April. But the choices you make 12 months a year have a big impact on your tax return preparation and even your refund. Making adjustments to your financial matters during tax filing season is like trying to lose weight during a routine doctor visit. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart work year-round to advise clients on important financial decisions so that during tax filing season, you're carrying a lot less stress and worry. Join the Peace of Mind team with Buckles, Travis & Hart, 270-259-5604 or GraysonCPAs.com.
If you've ever considered a Christian education for your child, St. Paul Catholic School is a growing, vibrant school in a small, intimate environment, providing an excellent academic education with Christian teachings from preschool through 8th grade, reasonable tuition, bus transportation available, and numerous extracurricular activities. Start your visit with St. Paul School by calling 270-242-7483.
Register now. Class sizes are limited and filling up.
The Grayson County Health Department has been a staple of our local community for years, and our dedication to serving hasn't wavered. The Health Department offers several services. We have a clinic ready to serve the community when needed. We also perform environmental services such as permitting and restaurant inspections. We have a committed team of hands workers too. They love working with new moms and dads and collaborating to achieve strong parenting skills. And we have an education academy that offers free education resources for our local schools and residents. We are here to serve you. For more information about GCHG, visit our website at myhealthdepartment.org.
Are you looking for a stable career with excellent benefits, 401k match, paid time off, and tuition reimbursement? Cormark is here. We are ready to support you and your career goals. When you join us, you'll discover a culture that encourages you to grow and challenges you to achieve. We embrace each employee as family. Our incentive pay structure rewards you based on your own performance. Show us your commitment, and we'll show you how to earn the money you deserve. Call a recruiter today, 270-259-9341, or stop by for an interview. Walk-ins welcome. Cormark is an equal opportunity employer.
Representative Mike Gallagher says that last week's testimony from TikTok's CEO has increased the likelihood that Congress will take some action.
We have the only bipartisan bicameral bill that would allow for either a ban or a forced sale to an American company.
Appearing on ABC's This Week alongside Illinois Representative Raja Krishnamoorthy, the Wisconsin Republican said national security concerns surrounding the widely popular Chinese-owned video app have united Democrats and Republicans. Krishnamoorthy said the hearing didn't do TikTok any favors and didn't seem fazed when asked about potential political fallout from a ban, given its popularity among young people. And Block is exploring legal action after Hindenburg Research disclosed a short position claiming the company inflates the user metrics of its Cash App and facilitates fraud. Block gained 17% this year, but most of that was wiped out after the Hindenburg disclosure. Block officials believe the action was designed to drive the stock price down in order for short sellers to profit. Tech Report.
Today is Scribble Day, an annual celebration of creativity. So people, scribblers, people that sit down and scribble, that just jot things out.
Somebody does here when they co-host.
Is it Yukon?
It must be.
Yeah, I think it's
He does sometimes.
Yeah, I come
I know
into some.
Stephen will sometimes too when he comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll see little.
Yeah,
things
no,
over
that's Dennis. But I think
is that a tall person thing then? I don't know.
It might. Well, I don't, but I know that Yukon though only can draw like 3 things, and I think he would admit that. So it's usually like Bart Simpson.
Yes, I've seen that one.
Yeah, the guy from I think like Wild Thornberries or something. He's only got a couple in his.
I don't even know what the wild thornberries are.
I do.
It's Spanish Paella Day.
Oh, hard to make.
It is hard to make. You get it right, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ever smell saffron, like you know it. But also if you ever buy saffron, you know it. You ever bought saffron at the store? From the spice rack?
I don't know that they.
It's expensive. Yeah.
I don't know that they sell that at the Olson's Mercantile.
No, they don't. I bet they don't sell it at the Olson's Mercantile. Nope. And then it's Quirky Country Music Song Titles Day.
Rather not.
Well, so what's interesting is I've seen this list before, and I thought that they were probably fake, but they must be real because I know there's one on here that is an actual country song. Like, I gave her the ring and she gave me the finger. It's one of the Quirky Country songs. My phone ain't been ringing, so I guess it wasn't you. And then one of the most enjoyable things that has happened in the last couple of months to me is the day that I got to teach Natalie Tall the country song that she could sing to her husband, "You're the Reason Our Kids Are Ugly."
Yes, that was good.
That's an actual real country song, Conway and Loretta. And so maybe they'll, it's an actual song. I also ran across a list of, I love kids, especially our kids, conversing or carrying on with things and they don't get the phrase or the word exactly right. Or like when they can't pronounce it correctly. I love the fact that Alea couldn't say spooky, so it was pooky.
Mm-hmm. Or skunk, it was stunk.
That's pooky. I still call it shrash. She couldn't say trash, so she would say shrash. Yeah. But I will never forget Taylor wanting scarecrow shoes, and come to find out she wanted Velcro shoes. So I love those things, and I love old episodes of Art Linkletter, Kids Say the Darndest Things. I even like the Bill Cosby reboot, and I ain't apologizing for it. I like the Tiffany Haddish version, too, that was on for a little while. So I'm attracted to kids saying the darndest things. So here are some tweets. My son just referred to a house phone as a ring-a-ling phone.
Oh, okay.
You know, house phones have that ring-a-ling. Ring.
I'm surprised the kid even knows what a house phone is.
Yeah.
I don't know many people that still have one.
My 4-year-old told me they had butt cakes after lunch today. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, butt cakes. Big old cupcakes with icing. Oh, bunt cakes.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to keep calling them butt cakes.
I like it.
My 5-year-old just referred to the drink menu at the restaurant as a beer magazine.
It's not wrong.
No. My 3-year-old daughter doesn't know the word cough drop, so she is requesting medicine beans. Medicine beans. All right.
Could also be a pill.
Yep. 5-year-old said, Mommy, can you make me a bald egg? Do you mean a boiled egg? He said, no, the hard egg with no skin and hair.
That's funny.
Boiled egg.
I didn't know if that was going to be a sunny side up egg.
My daughter called the first president George Washing Machine. My son referred to a little boy today as a double kid. Any idea what he meant? A twin. The boy had a twin brother. He called it a double kid.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's cute.
My 5-year-old called a QR code a scan square, and now I'm asking myself, why do they even call them QR codes?
I don't even know why they...
Scan square seems to be...
A lot smarter.
I
don't even know what
seems to be more self-explanatory.
Do you know what QR even stands for?
Quick reference.
Oh. Of course you do.
Yeah.
That's why you need to get on
said
Jeopardy.
Yourself.
That could be a Jeopardy one.
When my daughter was 4, she tried to say she had the heebie-jeebies, but it came out the Hebrew Bee Gees, and that's how we've pronounced it in my house for the last 10 years. The Hebrew Bee Gees.
Is that a new Bee Gees song for you, Cotton?
It is. And then lastly, instead of emotional support, my son said emotional support, and I want that a lot more. So those are kids say the darndest things. I'm not sure which of those I like the best. I don't know. Scan Square is pretty good because I think he may be onto something. So I knew this was going to be a thing, and apparently it's finally here. Quarantine nostalgia. Apparently we have now returned enough to normal life, or some semblance close enough to our life before COVID, that some people are sort of lamenting that there were aspects of quarantine that are probably better than your day-to-day life, or at least the ability. I mean, remember when you weren't expected to do anything or go anywhere?
Oh, yeah. No, it's...
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that got old and that got monotonous, and the limitations were hard to deal with. But just I said it early on, because COVID, like, oh, well, with everything that's going on, right? That was the phrase. Mm-hmm. With everything that's going on, we just can't. And now people are thinking, we miss the break, we miss being left alone, and we miss having time to ourselves to do nothing and just be.
Yeah.
Somewhere between the rat race and the quarantine is where you probably want to reside.
There's like a little, I like a little bit of both.
Yes. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I think I think it's important to.
Because it's nice
find
having,
both.
going to an event and there's a lot of people, but at the same time, it's nice going to an event and there's not a lot of people there.
Or having a good reason to say no,
Uh-huh.
to things that you don't want to do. Oh, I'm sorry, that's too many people.
Yeah. How many people are going to be there? Yeah. Right.
Yeah. First question is, who's going to be there?
Right. Have they been exposed?
Yeah. Sorry.
Masks required? Yeah. Okay. I'm not coming. All right. Forget it. I know that the Grayson County High School's prom this year is themed the Roaring 20s. And here we are. I mean, it's right on cue with the Roaring 1920s. We're in the Roaring 2020s. And apparently there's a thing called a 100-year rule where baby names from 100 years ago are going to be making a comeback. They have finally cycled through. And so you're going to see popular boy names from the 1920s that will be gaining in popularity in the coming years. And at the top of the list is Robert, John, James, William, Charles, George, Joseph, Richard, Edward.
Did these go out of style?
Right. I'm going.
And Donald. Well, now, Remember, we had a bunch of Kiefers and Dawsons and Dylans, and
Well, I mean,
you've got a lot of people who are using the traditional names.
Because, I mean, I know multiple Roberts Johns that are my age.
But what do they go by?
Robert.
They do?
John.
Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah.
Fa-la-la-la.
Yeah, no, and I don't remember who else was on that list, but I knew a couple other ones.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I guess maybe some people will call Robert Rob, but it's more of a...
Again, I know there are those people who rely upon the classics, especially some of the biblical classics, the Johns and the Matthews and the et ceteras. But if you just read the classroom rosters, like how many people are not named John, Robert, Edward, Charles, Joseph?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking,
I mean, there's, like-
as the person who probably reads, I mean, not classroom rosters, but sports rosters, which is the same thing.
Bentley, Brantley, Zeppelin.
Dalton.
Well, I mean, I could just go list down all of the rosters of,
Oh yeah, that's true. You have some.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
But my point is I'm saying you're starting at 0. So you have some people your age that you're talking about using some of these names, but they're the people who just go the classic route, and so you see a low percentage of them.
You're saying I'm old, is what you're saying.
No, certainly not in comparison to myself. You are not. So, but now we've got 7, 8, 10, 15-year-olds who have a bunch of names that really aren't this. The largest percentage of them are not. What you're going to be seeing over the next 8 to 10 years is you're going to see more people choosing these classic names because they think, "Oh, they're hip again," so we're bringing them back through. So, as a result, 10 and 15 years from now, you're going to have more Marys, more Dorothys, more Helens, more Bettys, more Margarets, more Ruths, more Virginias, more Doris, Mildred, Francis.
No, I didn't go to school with any of them.
We know a Doris.
We do know a Doris. I mentioned at the top of the show, Easter is less than 2 weeks away. Easter Sunday, 2 weeks from yesterday. And here are Americans' favorite Easter candies and foods. They threw Passover into this, and so it's also being considered that rack of lamb, dinner rolls, brisket, canned green beans, asparagus, russet potatoes, and sweet potatoes are all some of the most popular at Easter. It's just ham, right? Easter is a ham holiday. Isn't that fair to say?
I think so.
The most popular Easter candies, without a doubt, Reese's peanut butter eggs are at number 1.
The Kinder chocolate candy egg is
we've got
Kentucky's
a map
favorite.
up of Kentucky Kinder chocolate candy egg. What in the world is that?
It's a little white,
You've seen them, the white and orange.
and there's like a.
Yes.
I don't know
Santa
that.
has put them in stockings.
I was going to
before.
say I don't know that I've ever actually had one, but I know that Misty would appreciate, the Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Michigan.
Just Hershey's milk chocolate.
No, it's Starburst Easter jelly beans. Weren't those her favorites?
Oh yeah, she does like that. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Yeah, without
Kinda
a
that
doubt.
Ohio
Sorry,
Valley
I
region
glanced
there.
at West Virginia. I was like, oh. But Alaska's got it right.
So it's the West.
Most everything west of the Mississippi. I mean, you've got a few, the Nebraskas and that portion of the
Okay,
Midwest.
I can't see. Who's the Cadbury cream?
Cadbury will be Mississippi and Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Is that right? No.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Definitely Mississippi is in there.
Mississippi and Arkansas.
Starburst is 3. The milk chocolate bunnies is 4. Cadbury cream eggs is 5. Hershey's chocolate candy eggs at 6. Hershey's milk chocolate at 7. Peeps at 8.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Peeps was much higher. And they got a little too big for their.
Well, I tried that
Nest.
Pepsi, and it was an experience.
Of all the things you've had to drink, that was one of them.
It was. I mean, the thing is I give them credit. It tasted like a
They did not miss.
Yes.
They did not
Now,
miss.
the thing is it's just I don't know that we needed it.
Number 9, M&M's Easter milk chocolate candy, and Brock's Jellybird eggs round out the number 10
I think those are the ones that kind of have like the harder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
McDonald's new Spring McFlurry is coming back. It is strawberry shortcake inspired. So if you the new McFlurry flavor, strawberry shortcake.
Does
sounds,
it have
sounds pretty
real
good.
strawberry in it?
This is
Probably.
No, I think it's
No?
just see the syrup in there, but there's the piece of information if you're determined to find out. Sam and I had a brief exchange on Saturday after we were learning a little bit about after the outcome of the Florida Atlantic game and the Owls advanced. We commiserated a little bit with the Florida Atlantic broadcast crew because they had something happen to them that if you call enough ball games, something like this is going to happen to you. And in the
knock on wood right now.
in the most important broadcasting moment of Florida Atlantic University history,
Yeah, probably.
their internet connection fails courtside in their game on Saturday. And it's really kind of remarkable how it unfolded. What did you take away from it, Sam?
Well, for one, the joke is I'm in some like broadcasting Facebook groups and people are like, we have nightmares about this. And it's no, like 100%. I will have nightmares about, a late minute and the equipment dies, the headset goes out or something, and that trying to figure out, oh, what do I do? But the fact that it happens with, I think he said 30 seconds left. And I think he made the comment saying that, Kansas State called a timeout.
If it hadn't been for the extra timeout,
he'd have missed it.
Yep.
And luckily he was able to quickly go behind to get to the table behind him to get a hardline connection there. But that's why I almost always have usually try and have a backup internet source to where I can, if that happens, because we've had to do it with our connection before games, and it's never been late necessarily where I've had to, like whether it's with our video or, we've had to switch in the middle of a game or something because it's incredibly stressful because that there are people relying on you, especially in a moment like that.
Right. If you got a trip to the Final Four on the line for your school.
This is not the game in the middle of December where FAU's playing,
That's right. Well, and what happened was the way they do those in those rows of press rows. So you'll see in the NCAA tournament, you'll see the fans on one side, but the first 3 and 4 rows off the floor are media rows, and they put the live broadcasters typically on the first row. But they have Cat 5 internet connections all the way up and down the rows for each one. But then the rows are connected, but each one of those rows has its own switch. And then the switches get connected at the end of the rows. Well, something led the switch that was in the front row to kill the internet connection to everyone on the front row, apparently. So this guy, because that's what I told you was quick thinking by him. He realized he just turned around to the row behind him, grabbed a Cat 5 cable, plugged it into his unit.
He made the point that it wasn't long enough, so his assistant had to
hold
hold
it over there.
No, had to hold the Comrex, which is a piece of equipment that we use.
Which looked very familiar, didn't it?
Yes, it did. I've used one of those once or twice.
So it saved the day. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way here on In the Know.
Maybe you're not one of those frequent flyers, but sometimes you just want to hit the beach or see your new granddaughter or go to that out-of-state wedding. Whatever the reason for your getaway, if it involves flying in the U.S. or visiting a military base after May 7th, 2025, you'll need a Kentucky Real ID driver's license or an ID that is Real ID compliant. Make a plan to get your Kentucky Real ID now. Go to realidky.com.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. You can now get COVID-19 tests sent to your home monthly at no cost to you. Get up to 8 at-home COVID-19 rapid antigen tests delivered directly to your home for no cost. With free shipping, dial pound 250, keyword COVID test now to get your COVID-19 test delivered to you at no cost. If you're on Medicare, dial pound 250, keyword COVID test for up to 8 at-home COVID-19 tests monthly delivered to you at absolutely no cost, including free shipping. Dial pound 250, keyword COVID test. That's pound 250. Keyword COVID test now.
Do you own an annuity? Either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. That's 800-273-7075.
This is Kentucky, where the only thing ordinary is the unexpected.
I got everything you need.
Horse country, legendary distilleries, rivers to paddle, lakes to splash and relax, big city vibes and small town charms. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
I got everything you need.
There's only one thing better than being a kid. Being a healthy kid. So give them the best shot at it with no-cost health insurance from K-Chip, now available through Connect. Nothing could be simpler. All you need to do is visit connect.ky.gov/K-Chip and see what benefits you and your kids qualify for. Every kid should have health insurance. And now, every kid can.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
A mix of sun and clouds this afternoon with highs mainly in the 50s, but a choice few will jump into the low 60s this afternoon. For tonight, cloudy and dry. Tomorrow, small chance of rain, but overall mainly cloudy. Pretty cold as we get into your Tuesday night with lows down below the freezing mark. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Born in a hurry, always late, haven't been early since 88.
Did you know
Texas
there's a Swiss Army knife with 31 features, including a tool for emergency tracheotomies?
Oh, wow.
Sam, does yours have the tracheotomy option?
No, but I've been looking into getting a new one because I lost there's tweezers on it. I lost that, so I was looking into investing and saw that one on Amazon and was blown away by the amount of, I'm assuming it's the same one, but it was, because I literally over the weekend was looking at it.
So,
I don't know if it has that option, but
can you not just replace the tweezers?
I probably could, but this is also about 6 or 7 years old.
An excuse to upgrade into something.
Yeah, $150. Here it is. I'm not.
So, do you know how many features the one you have has?
7, I think.
7. Have you mastered all 7 of those, and now you need larger capacity? Like you need one that does 14. So
well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I need that one.
Yeah, that looks heavy.
Yeah, I don't know that
Holy
that's.
smokes.
Yeah, in fact, here I can try and go up. See, like that's a little much.
Yeah. Huh.
But I mean, this
is that Bluetooth. At the weekend box office, John Wick hits a franchise high, beats down all the competition. John Wick Chapter 4 did $73.5 million. Shazam was at 2. Scream was at 3. Creed was at 4. 65 was at 5. That Jonathan Majors guy, speaking of Creed, got entangled in a he said, she said, and he's in an army campaign, and they went ahead and dropped it, or at least parked it while they figure it out. Now she's recanted, saying the accusations she made against him were not true, and so it just, again, it's one of those, you go making claims of things that really didn't happen. You doing at the rate in which we now just jump to conclusions when someone says something. Like, you can do a world full of damage that can never be undone just because you're being spiteful and making a claim of something that didn't happen just because you're mad or because you didn't get your way. Adele is extending her Las Vegas residency and announces a live concert film. She said 4,000 people for 34 dates is not enough, so I'm coming back for a few weeks in June, and I'm going to release it to make sure anyone who wants to see this show can see it. So she will return June 16 and run through November 4, and April 5 will have a new window open up for tickets, but the good news is you're going to be able to watch the concert film, much like some of the great Las Vegas performances. The check came in.
Oh, for you? Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
So many people don't know that we had tickets to see Adele the opening weekend, I guess last weekend, the St. Patrick's Day and that, and opted just not to go because it's hugely expensive to be out there for the opening weekend of the NCAA tournament. Everybody wants to be there. So we put the tickets on the secondary market, and I'll just say it was a wise decision.
Yeah, I know my mom very much enjoyed going, and I would assume, I don't know that she would go back to Vegas again this summer to go see her, but I'm sure that if there was an opportunity in a couple of years that she would take it again.
I really didn't have any in the interim between the show happening and the funds arriving. I didn't have any, I didn't get to see Adele, but I really didn't have it. Like once it landed, I was like, ooh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. I will surrender my... Adele, ask Sam what it was, and then Sam will tell you the total.
Yeah.
You might also give me back my Adele fan card, fan club card once you realize.
She would have never done the same. Well, she better not have done the same thing since I was the one that.
Well, they were they a gift?
They were.
Then she's free to do with them whatever she wanted. Kanye has returned to Instagram. That'd be Kanye West, not to be confused with all the other Kanyes you know. Has returned to Instagram to share how Jonah Hill made him like Jewish people again. Well, it's all settled then. It's all water under the bridge. Kanye said, watching Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street made me like Jewish people again.
Well,
That movie's like 10 years old, too,
I know.
isn't it?
I mean, it's a good movie. And by the way, I like Jonah Hill. Always have. But
he's good in Moneyball.
I guess Kanye, that's probably my favorite role.
That's one of my favorite
his.
movies.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. The American Music Awards may take off 2023 as Billboard Music Awards move in on their date. Billboard has announced they would be moving in on the date November 19th, which is typically the American Music Awards. And so the parent company, Dick Clark Productions, may choose to move the awards to 2024, taking Billboard's date in May. Oh, yeah? You take our date, we'll take your date. I always liked the Billboard Music Award, the American Music Awards. I don't really want Billboard crashing in on their date. And then Grey's Anatomy season 20 has been confirmed. So Grey's Anatomy will return for season 20. They're getting a new showrunner.
I thought they said that this was their last season.
For Meredith.
Changed their mind, I guess. We got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
One of the most common questions Focus on the Family gets from parents is, how do I build a strong relationship with my child? My answer? Put grace before truth in everything you do. Let me explain the idea this way. Let's say your son or daughter falls to the bottom of a well. Metaphorically, the well could be a bad relationship, problems with the bully, or troubles with social media. Whatever it is, he or she feels trapped at the bottom. And then you come along. You stand at the top of the well where the sun is shining, the birds are singing, and everything is good. You shout instructions for them to climb their way out, and then you walk off. A better approach is to jump into the bottom of the well with your child. Hold them, assure them they're not alone, connect with what they're experiencing, and tell them, it sure is scary and dark down here, but we'll get through this together. It's easy not to hear our children. We're busy. We expect our children to grow, to mature, and to do for themselves as much as possible. But along the way, we often forget to listen to their feelings without trying to fix them. Most of the time, your teenager won't need or want you to solve their problem. They just want you to listen, to offer your love and support, and to reassure them they're not alone. When your children struggle, put grace before truth in everything you do. To help your children thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
People ask me sometimes, Lance, I'm worried about my finances and I feel bad because I shouldn't be worried, right? I realize that inflation is going to be eating up money. I've got to do something to get around this crazy stock market and Biden's spending spree. Gold has, since the beginning of time, been the resource that God's people have relied on. The silver is mine and the gold is mine, is what the prophet Haggai said during a time of great shaking. To protect your retirement, I recommend that you diversify your 401k or IRA right out of paper assets and into physical gold. And the best way to do that is with Gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, text the word DIVINE to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold IRAs. Remember, there are no strings attached. By diversifying your retirement account into gold, your savings can be protected. Just text that word DIVINE, DIVINE, to 989898. Take action right now, and I pray that your family is blessed with continued prosperity.
Maybe you're not one of those frequent flyers, but sometimes you just want to hit the beach or see your new granddaughter or go to that out-of-state wedding. Whatever the reason for your getaway, if it involves flying in the U.S. or visiting a military base after May 7th, 2025, you'll need a Kentucky Real ID driver's license or an ID that is Real ID compliant. Make a plan to get your Kentucky Real ID now. Go to realidky.com.
This is Kentucky, where the only thing ordinary is the unexpected.
I got everything you need.
Horse country, legendary distilleries, rivers to paddle, lakes to splash and relax, big city vibes and small town charms. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
I got everything you need.
They all started looking real suspicious at him, and he jumped up and said, "Now just wait a minute, Jim. You know he's lying. I've been living here all of my life."
MB's point to ponder for today.
Faithful follower of Brother
Is it meeting other cars at a high rate of speed in the opposite lane, overly normalized? You're just feet away. You know how like we just go barreling down the road at a high rate of speed, that if you were doing something else similar and were that close to someone or something else, you would freak out.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow we just think it's normal where you're going down the road and you're doing 60 and they're doing 60, and there's from you to the monitor over here between the vehicles.
There's feet between death.
Yeah, it's weird how, but
No,
we
I
just
think about
treat
it.
it like like it's normal.
Well, yeah, because I try not to think about the potential of getting.
But aren't we unusually accepting
I
of
think
it,
most,
though?
yes. I think, for the most part.
It's trust.
Yes.
Blinded trust, maybe.
Have
but
you met people?
That's why I said blinded trust.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, you just have faith that they're going to stay on their
Okay,
side.
point to ponder 2.0. I read this headline that fruit roll-ups are being forced to remind people not to eat the wrappers. So fruit roll-ups come with a plastic wrapper on the outside that you have to remove.
Is it fruit roll-ups or fruit by the foot?
Fruit roll-ups.
Interesting, because my picture is fruit by the foot. That's interesting.
Really? So...
Because they're different paper, too.
Yes. It says legal is making me clarify that you should not attempt to eat the plastic.
Listen, I love some of the warnings or what do they call them?
Warnings.
Yeah, disclaimers, warnings.
Disclaimers, the consumer, whatever. Like, don't blow dry your hair while you're in the bathtub is on the tag of the blow dryer. You know, how stupid are you?
First.
Caution, hot coffee is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, coffee is hot. You don't say. By the way, I realize I like fruit roll-ups more than I realized and remembered that I did. Like, I would like to have a fruit roll-up right now.
They are good. I did not know that. Okay.
I didn't know it either. It was one of those things I didn't have very often.
Well, are you gonna get
But-
the ones with the tongue tattoo too?
No, I don't want those. I want regular. I want
think you and
traditional.
you
fruit
and Alea
roll-ups.
need to get some tongue tattoos. Maybe you could do
Listen.
matching tongue tattoos.
I would have the common sense to remove the plastic, but my ponderance
Now,
is.
do you roll it up into the ball and eat it that way, or are you gonna just?
I don't know. I don't have.
Oh,
It's
my
been so
goodness
long. I don't know
gracious.
that I have a. I don't know that I have a tried and true methodology. They tend to roll back up after you pull the plastic off of them. You know, they kind of flatten out a little bit, but then they still have that shape. I'd probably just roll them back up and gnaw on them. Would be my guess. But these warnings, isn't this just an extension of natural selection? If we don't do the warnings,
Yes.
like if you don't have the sense not to eat dishwashing detergent or laundry detergent, isn't this just natural selection at work? Why should we intervene? If you want to eat, if you can't figure out that you're supposed to take the plastic off the fruit roll up, why should we tell you any different?
You're not wrong.
Not wrong.
I would think it's the universe trying to do us a favor.
This is those Gen Zs.
On television tonight, The Bachelor season 27 finale is on ABC.
You having your watch party for it?
Somebody going to get a rose? Do they have to get married tonight? Is there a wedding?
I don't.
I think they don't
I
they
don't
get
know how that
engaged.
works.
Well, see, I think I said on air the other day they have to get married, but I know they don't have to get married on the show.
I
don't
think
know
they
what
get
the contractual
engaged
agreement
tonight,
is.
maybe.
On CBS, The Young and the Restless 50th anniversary celebration. I saw yesterday where they put Mo Rocca did a story on the 50th anniversary of Y&R. I'm hip. I call it Y&R like the people do. And they wrote him into one of the episodes. They gave him like a bit part. You know, he gets to do that soap opera stare at the end of the scene where he says something and then he just stares off into the distance and like the camera like pulls out and then they go to break, you know, like all the soap operas do.
That's not usually on the top of my list of things that I consume.
I don't watch soap operas, but boy, give me some Yellowstone. You know, Yellowstone's a soap opera. It's just
Yes,
at
it
night.
is.
Today's highlight in history, this date in 1977 in aviation's worst disaster. 583 people were killed when a KLM Boeing 747 attempted to take off in heavy fog on an airport runway on the Canary Island of Tenerife. Ponce de Leon sighted present-day Florida this date in 1513. Ponce de Leon. Charles I acceded to the English throne upon the death of James I this date in 1625. The Godfather won the Academy Award for Best Picture this date in 1973. Andrew Ferris of NXS is 64. Quentin Tarantino is 60. Paulie Perrette is 54. Mariah Carey is 53. Nathan Fillion is 52. Fergie is 48 today, and Halle Berry is 20.
I was like, wait a
Halle
minute.
Bailey is 23.
Oh, okay.
Little Mermaid.
Yeah, Halle Bailey.
There we go.
23. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I didn't think Halle Berry was. Was she 50?
Oh yeah, at least.
At least.
Yeah, without a doubt. She's older than I am.
That's pretty
Let's
old.
go to without a doubt. 1953.
56.
Teresa Brewer. Till I Waltz Again with You was number one.
Let no other hold your child.
Thank you, Teresa. That'll be enough out of you for today. 1962. Hey, baby.
Like I always say, one of your classic Pep Band songs.
It's a great Pep Band song.
I wanna know if you'll be my girl.
Ba, 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 ba,
Yeah,
ba.
see, as the trombone player, you gotta love that part.
Proud Mary, keep on burning, and we're rolling, rolling, yeah, rolling on.
71. Mike and Tina.
Say we're rolling, rolling, yeah, rolling on the river.
this version quite as much.
Was it on Just Dance? One of the Just Dances.
Oh,
You don't like this version, Sam?
Not
Oh
as
my
much
goodness.
as not as much as like the CCR.
You like the CCR version?
that's interesting because I'm a huge CCR fan.
The Spinners, working my way back to you, number 1 in 80. Milli Vanilli, Girl, You Know It's True, number 1 in 89. Getting Jiggy With It, Will Smith in 98. The Sweet Escape, Gwen Stefani in 07. And Work, Rihanna, number 1 in 2016. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, say something positive and you'll see something positive. Say something positive and you'll see something positive. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in